Welcome to today's episode of our Political Deep Dive podcast. In this session, we explore the unfolding drama surrounding Bangladesh's upcoming national elections. Is the February 2026 timeline a strategic compromise or a cleverly crafted trap? Has the political momentum shifted following the fall of Sheikh Hasina's long standing regime? Stay with us as we break down the key events, hidden calculations, and shifting alliances shaping the future of democracy in Bangladesh. Bangladesh's politics stands today at a bizarre and unstable crossroads where even after a dramatic uprising, the promise of revolutionary change remains unfulfilled and the political future seems predetermined long before the next vote. A year has passed since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's long authoritarian rule. While the mass uprising now holds its place in history, the nation is still unsure. When will the long awaited election be held? December, February, or even later? Although the debate over election timing is heating up, it's starting to resemble a strategic political theater. Earlier this month, a joint statement was issued by BNP and the interim government suggesting that elections might be held in February 2026. This directly contradicts BNP's long-standing demand for elections to be held by December. Now, critics argue BNP may have walked into the government's trap. Political analysts believe that while this agreement may offer a temporary sense of calm, it hides a deeper strategy. The government has effectively neutralized BNP's street movement through these joint declarations. The streets are quiet, grassroots activism has slowed, and public engagement has diminished. It feels as though the once fiery movement has been reduced to a political memory. Although BNP is attempting to frame this shift as a diplomatic victory, internally it has sparked confusion. Activists and supporters are questioning why the party abruptly changed its stand after months of demanding December election. Was there a deal? Has the party succumbed to visible pressure? This confusion deepens when we observe that the general public seems largely detached from these timeline-based political tug-of-war. The urban middle class, young voters, and professionals remain uncertain, uninspired, and politically uncommitted. Those who took to the streets in August 2024 now seem disillusioned by an opaque and unchanged political structure. The movement's language is old, the leadership is stagnant, and its movement appears to be fading. Meanwhile, serious allegations of money laundering and corruption have surfaced against several influential figures linked to the interim government. Reports indicate massive illicit financial transfers to Singapore, Canada, Dubai, and parts of Europe. Many of the individuals named in these reports are said to be close to the interim administration's advisors, bureaucrats, and political allies. Yet the government remains silent. BNP too has failed to take a strong position on these issues. While a few leaders have expressed discontent, the party has not prioritized these grave concerns in its political messaging. Analysts argue that in the spirit of ongoing negotiation, BNP may be deliberately suppressing these topics, thereby allowing the discourse to focus solely on election timing. Adding to this mix is the possible return of BNP's acting chairman Tarique Rahman after more than a decade in exile in London. Preparations are reportedly underway for his return. A residence in Gulshan is being readied. His legal barriers appear to have eased, and the government has not voiced any formal objections. Some speculate he might return before August 5th, the anniversary of the uprising. But is his return merely symbolic, or does it signal a new phase in political strategy? If Tariq returns and successfully energizes the party base ahead of the polls, it could be a turning point for BNP. However, if uncertainties around the election persist, or if this leadership is internally contested, his return might create more challenges than momentum. The joint statement following his London meeting with Dr. Yunus has for now set a tone of political compromise. But what exactly does this compromise include? And more importantly, who was left out? The NCP, Jamaat Islami, Hifazat Islam, leftist alliances, and the civil society were all absent from these talks. In the so-called consensus, merely a strategic engagement between two individuals. If so, it risked narrowing the democratic space further. Meanwhile, key political reforms remain stalled. Constitutional Article 70, legal frameworks for a caretaker government, the authority of the parliament, procedures for women's reserved seats, and party resignation mechanisms. All of these remain unaddressed. The much anticipated Reform Commission has now lost steam, reduced to an unfulfilled talking point. Adding to the crisis is a disturbing trend of political character assassination through leaked videos and smear campaigns. Social media has been flooded with personal attacks on leaders from BNP, NCP, and even Islamist parties. These incidents are more than personal vendettas. They reflect an intentional effort to discontent. They reflect an intentional effort to discredit opposition and distract the public from core issues. So, what should be done? First, both the interim government and BNP must open the doors to a truly inclusive national dialogue, one that involves all political parties, civil society actors, and youth representatives. Second, the focus must shift from election dates to ensuring a credible and transparent process with clear guidelines and institutional integrity. Third, all corruption and human rights allegations must be investigated impartially and transparently. BNP must redefine its movement around core democratic demands, a clean voter list, an impartial administration, an empowered election commission, and meaningful institutional reforms. The government, on the other hand, must move beyond rhetoric and demonstrate its commitment to public trust by taking real actions. In summary, 2024-25 is a defining period in Bangladesh's history. Those in leadership today hold a rare opportunity to rebuild public confidence. If they fail, it won't just be an election loss, it will be a generation's dreams deferred. And in the end, one question will remain: is this election truly for the people or just another game of political survival? That's all for today's episode. If you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and most importantly, stay engaged in shaping a better future for Bangladesh.